Okay, so we're back with part 2 of this.
Round 2.
Because there was no way we were covering it all in one.
No, we were going to keep talking all day.
We could have just kept going. So let's just get right back into it. So, obviously we were talking about the multiple bodysuits.
Yep.
I wanted to mention Lily Lou first tattooed themselves at 14 with a sewing needle.
Wow.
I think it was a sword. I think that was the first tattoo.
Oh, like actually did. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So first tattoo on themselves when they were 14. And obviously, I think Lily Lou is a year or two older than me. So been tattooing for quite a while.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if they're doing, like, if they themselves do tattoo work anymore. Mm-hmm. Because now it's more about filmmaking and doing all kinds of crazy, like, barefoot marathons and stuff in the wild, and like all kinds of like Survivor stuff, but like strange challenges.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm not going to do this for 30 days.
Yeah.
Right. And like, can I make it through this forest barefoot? Like those kinds of things. Like, it's turned into all experiential stuff, right?
Yeah. Mountains to climb kind of thing.
Yeah, which is like, it goes really hand in hand with piercings and tattoos and all of that for me. Like, it makes the same kind of sense. Same as they do suspensions in Thailand, obviously, and like all of that kind of stuff is going on there, and it all hits a similar nerve, I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
And a lot of people
challenge and overcoming it.
So, like, a lot of people think of tattoos, piercings as aesthetic, right? Mm-hmm. This is an aesthetic pursuit.
Yep.
So, like, that's why they can't understand why someone would be okay with looking like what Lily Lou has ended up looking like, where this has become, and Lily Lou themselves never talks about appearance.
Yeah.
Like, it almost never comes up, because this has become the process, and the feeling has taken over, right? Like, it's won out. And to some degree, like, mine did to a large degree, but there were certain hard lines I put in that didn't let that completely take over. Like, I had certain rules that I still want to look like the person I was born as, right? I don't want to end up looking unrecognizable from what I was.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I still have a bit too much ego in me, right? Maybe I'd be happier if I let that go.
Well, the whole idea of aesthetic would be, presenting yourself in a way that is, gonna bode well for you with those viewing you, right? When you take that and you flip it on its head and you actually pursue a look that will actually inhibit the way that people will approach you, and that's just from a natural inclination, you know what I mean? Like, we have a biological way our eyes are wired, and when you put something in front of you to you have to overcome that with every single person that you come in contact with, which might be another side of what they're doing, you know what I mean? They might just be also making it so people really have to learn them rather than make assumptions by them.
You come to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the emphasis is on, I'm not a freak, everyone else is.
Yeah.
Right? That's been said many, many times. The outside world is the problem. Right? Which I can get there, and like, I can appreciate that statement, by the way. Like, and I was watching that stuff the other day, and I was like, oddly soothed by it, right? But like, I also know that, like, the world isn't coming to me. I gotta get them, right? I gotta convince them. I gotta do a lot of that legwork. Yeah. And like, it's all good and fine to remove yourself from society and create your own people. And God knows we're doing that here in Thailand. But if you want to make this make sense to the broader population, you have to live among them, I really think. And I should say that Lily Lou is a parent to a very skilled daughter. Yeah. So this is, again, creating your own people. Who was tattooing when they were a toddler. And
sounds right.
I think they're 10 or 11 now, but their work is so saturated and healing like an advanced level 20-year tattooer. Yeah. Because it's got to be like that thing of like Mozart playing piano when he's like 4. Yep. And then he becomes a master at every instrument. Yep. It's got to be a similar thing, because they look like kids' drawings, but they're healed like perfect. Like, they look day one after they're done healing. Like, it's weird. It's incredible proficiency from an early age, and I wonder if that's like just from being around it. Like
certainly, yeah.
And or because like, can you pass on the tattooer gene?
I mean, in terms of the technical proficiency of putting ink in skin, that's a trade. So like that part of it is, I think, pass onable, and I think kids are they love to learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in terms of actually what it feels like to tattoo, the feeling of a correct tattoo, the feeling of when it goes wrong, I feel like that stuff is probably pretty translatable at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Then the artistic side of it is the one that you'd be like, I wonder if their genius passes on through their lineage, kind of thing. You know,
it's looking like it, but I would be derelict of my duties not to mention Lily Lou's partner, Anu's Katz, I think is how you say her name.
Yeah.
They have a polyamorous relationship, as I understand.
Oh yeah.
I don't know all the particulars of that. Again, I'm not a fanboy. I know of this person, but she is very successful in her own right. Is a very famous actress, we'll say, and
entertainer.
A very beautiful but strange woman. That has her own career and her own, and she stood on her own. Like, I knew of her before I knew they were together. Really? Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't like, oh, I found out about him and then it's like, oh, here's his partner. Yeah. Like, she's not a tag along. She could do her own. Right. She can. So like, it's kind of interesting to me that like they're both in this world and then their daughter ends up being just so good at this stuff.
Oh yeah.
But like, they haven't influenced their daughter to look like. People would always think, oh, well, they're going to make their daughter do. No, I think the daughter is free to do whatever she wants, as far as I'm understanding.
Well, I think they all have a very individualistic version of society, rather than trying to adhere to a certain norm that's pressed upon you. I think from the looks of it, they're trying to escape those things being pressed upon anyone.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like, from what I understand, though they show them their side of the world, that she's still a part of the normal world too, because they don't want to do the thing that happens with Christian parents where their kids are just born into an indoctrinated kind of life.
That's what you have to do. Yeah. Just to stay in the family kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think that they're trying to impress that kind of thing on them. I think they're trying to have like a very round kind of, this is the world. Mm-hmm. This is all of what's possible. You choose. Yep. Right? And there's no like, you have to be a tattooer. It's just...
Well, I mean, that language is...
It's a good income to fall back on.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I think like it's good to be shown the full picture. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like anything that's narrow, then all of a sudden as your picture falls apart when you get older, you start distrusting the people that showed you the picture. Yeah. But if you can get the full range of the image, I think that's like a good, healthy starting point. It might be overwhelming to some people because like that's a lot to take in at any age.
When I spend time watching videos of Cyland and the Lily Lou's YouTube channel, like it does look like a charmed life. Yeah. Like it looks very good. But the problem with this is like Lily Lou will at times be a little preachy about people needing to do more for themselves and live a little less in society and follow their dreams. As I said in part one of this, there was a time in my life where I was probably ready to get out there in the commune myself and just run away and really indulge, but you don't always have the money, you don't always have the resources. It's not an agency problem a lot of the time, it's resources. Yeah. Like when I was at that point where I would have done that, I would say it was probably 11 years ago, I would have just snapped shit and just ran for the fucking forest and lived free. I wouldn't have had this though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so there is a bit of, I won't say it's naivete. I won't say it's like you've had it too good. I just think that it's not understanding what most people's circumstances are. Yeah. Like most people can't just break free that easily. Yeah. I'm not trying to make excuses for people, but I think that when you say more people should do this, you're not understanding how you're uniquely gifted. Like this person is a brilliant human being who's probably be good at most things that they try. Like, I'm not saying they haven't failed. Everybody's going to fail, but Lily Lou is a brilliant human being. I don't think everybody out there that's stuck in a a generic 9 to 5 existence is as gifted all the time, or have as many resources or ways out.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be possible for everybody to be doing the same thing, and like it.
And on top of that, I don't think Lily Lou wants that either.
No, it would destroy what they have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If it's not special anymore, like how long till you're chopping off a toe?
Yeah, all
you
of
know
a sudden,
what I mean?
theirs is the norm. Theirs is the normal society, and then all of us, they'd have to become a lawyer in a suit to rebel against it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And I think that this will always go as far as it needs to in order to be something else,
to be separate.
And I feel like that's being imposed. Then I don't feel like that's coming from. And I'm not saying that this person doesn't have a round picture of themselves. I don't want to, but like everything that you do, you should try and ask yourself first: am I doing this because it's what I want, or am I doing it in an external way to get away from, or to follow what people are saying versus run away from what people are saying?
Yeah, am I driving there, or am I being driven there?
And because like this may be exactly where they're driving, but I think for a lot of people watching this. It could really influence them to do some things they weren't ready for and they don't have the resources for. So in some ways I really do, even though I like this person a lot, I like Lily Lou, I enjoy what they're doing. I think that I'm working a little bit in an opposition of this, where I'm trying to make the public more acquainted with it and used to it. This is going, we don't need that. Let's stay in our little hole.
Yeah, there is something to playing the game, knowing the rules. Just because you know the rules doesn't mean you don't have to play the game, or you can remove yourself from the game entirely. If you want to play the game, you can play the game having the awareness. You know what I mean? If you want to be in society and you want to be able to have an effect on that society around you, you can still play the game, but you have everybody's cards at that point, which is, could help you reach more people or help more people in that respect.
And this is like, I'm not damning this whole thing because part of me wants to go out there and join it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like, it would be a giant release valve for
part of me would be tagging along
to live like this. Like, it looks magical.
I just don't want to tattoo my anus.
Yeah, fair point.
Okay.
Kevin's in, but no tattooed anus.
No tattooed anus.